Right, 22 September 2025, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick update on all the trending news that is taking place in Zimbabwe. So let's get started, and today we're going to start with the news of Babongile Skonjwa. New details have emerged on the death of the popular DJ and host and also businessman from Bulawayo, and it has emerged that Babongile died after collapsing at home. So according to information that has been published today, Babongile died after he collapsed and was carried to the United Bulawayo Hospitals. So it's very sad and unexpected to see him passing away in that manner. And obviously, as someone who went to school with me, a lot of people in my circles are very sad with the death of Babongile Skonjwa. And I'll be updating you daily on this until he's laid to rest. So it's very sad, but in Botswana, there is news, and that is the winning of the relay team of Botswana here. So the Botswana team has won the 4x400 meter race. The first time an African team has ever won this race. And it's very interesting. The relay, 4x400 meter relay, it's a very competitive relay. And I think South Africa was also one of the teams. They dropped their baton. Otherwise, it would have been Africa and Africa. Then let's quickly look at other trending news. And then I'm going to go into the big story of the day. So today I want to start with South Africa. A lot is happening in South Africa, particularly two delegations are traveling separately to the United States. That is a delegation that is representing Afroforum and Solidarity, is traveling by itself. And another delegation is traveling, which is led by Minister Pakstow. And these delegations are all trying to fix the relationship with the United States of America. So you can see here, Minister Pakstow meeting with a representative of the United States, Richard Neal. And this is strange because it means these two groups are not agreeing. So they're not agreeing. And therefore, one group is traveling by itself while the other is traveling by itself. So what they've said, what Solidarity has said, and what Afroforum has said is that they sent a trade framework to President Ramaphosa, but he did not respond, although they wrote him a lot of letters. So South Africa is not agreeing, and they're going to America as two separate groups. Okay, I think we've covered all that important news. Now let's go to what I wanted to cover, which is Chiwenga. So Chiwenga has last week confronted Mnangagwa. It has been confirmed through various sources. So initially through the news, and then through Themba Mliswa, who has slammed Chiwenga yesterday. So what Mnangagwa has done is, over the weekend, he has sent a delegation to go across the whole country. So in Manicaland, he sent Patrick Chinamasa, he sent Machacha, he sent Superman Wanzira, and Barbara. So these people have been going around trying to find out who is in support of ED 2030. So far, only 4 provinces confirmed. And then yesterday, last night, 2 more provinces have confirmed support for ED 2030. So these provinces that have accepted and support Mnangagwa include Manicaland, and then obviously we have Harare, we have Midlands, we have Bulawayo, we have Matabeleland North, and we have Matabeleland South. So these provinces have confirmed support for ED 2030. We also have Bulawayo, as I said, Bulawayo through Jabulani Spanda have confirmed support for ED 2030. So that leaves Mashonaland East, Mashonaland West, Mashonaland Central, and what is our last province that is not confirmed? So Masvingo. So Masvingo has not yet confirmed ED 2030 or support for ED 2030. This is very important because if all the provinces don't agree to this resolution, it's not going to pass. Even if there's one province that doesn't agree, it's not going to pass because some of these provinces are going to flip. So particularly Matabeleland South, Matabeleland North, they are likely to flip if the other provinces don't go for the resolution for ED 2030, and we end up with 6 provinces against and 4 provinces in support. So Mnangagwa is now sending, so for example, Superman Wanzira had to travel yesterday to Midlands, and Barbara also had to travel to Midlands yesterday. I don't know where Chinamasa is as of yet, and Matabeleland South only agreed late in the night to support the ED 2030. So there is a big problem right now arising because people have to be whipped to agree or to accept ED 2030. I don't know what has happened, but something has happened behind the scenes and people are still afraid. So people are not yet feeling comfortable to support ED 2030, and they have to be forced to agree to it in a way. So for example, when you looked at Matabeleland North, they kept asking them, were you forced? Were you forced? And obviously they will say, we were not forced. But there is a problem. And I don't know why Superman Wanzira is now at the front, but he's now traveling around the country. He's the one who is now supporting this ED 2030 through his travels around Zimbabwe. So let's look very carefully. It's very important to look at what is going to happen. But if you looked at Sanywatwe, Sanywatwe yesterday was with Chiwenga. So let's see if this means anything, because Sanywatwe is from Manicaland. So let's see if this is a sign of new things to come, because many people believe that Sanywatwe had sold out Chiwenga, but I don't believe this is the case. I believe that yesterday a discussion took place between Sanywatwe and Chiwenga. These are the 2 most senior people, military people right now. And as I said, the 2 people that have got a lot of weight. So when they speak, these 2 are listened to, and any one of these can be a presidential candidate. So between Sanywatwe and Chiwenga, these 2 can be a presidential candidate that is acceptable in the military. So if the military was to support or back a candidate, they could back any one of these 2. So watch very carefully what is going to happen. We're in an interesting period. The Mnangagwa family has gone into hiding. So none of them is showing up. That is what they do when this happens. When there's a problem, Auxilia goes into hiding, Kuda goes into hiding, all the kids go into hiding. And the only person that remains is people like Temba Mliswa. And right now they're using Barbara and also Superman Wanzira. Yesterday, they've also given away cars. So they've given away more cars to Bulawayo province. So this province, these cars were sent by, let me see who's the person who took the car. Rejoice Banda got a car, Ed Dube got a car, Esnat Moyo got a car, and then Sandra Dube got a car. So women, so they are continuing to buy with the cars, but in terms of support, only those provinces that I've talked about have accepted ED 2030. That is Matabeleland North, Matabeleland South, Bulawayo, Midlands, Harare, and Manicaland. Those are the provinces that have accepted ED 2030, with the 4, that is 3 Mashonaland provinces and Masvingo, not yet having confirmed that they support ED 2030. And then you put South Africa, UK, and Canada. Those ones have not accepted ED 2030. They have not made the statements. Then in terms of the groups that support ED 2030, you've seen that Women for ED by Tatina Mavetera, Women's League, Youth League, those ones have accepted the ED 2030. And that leaves other little groups which are not in support of ED 20. There are many of them, especially the provincial youth groups. They do not support ED 2030. They are in support of Chiwenga. What this means is that ZANU-PF is now split into various groups. But let's see what Mnangagwa himself is going to do, what he's going to say in the coming week. There's going to be a number of public engagements where Mnangagwa is supposed to feature, and let's see what he says. All right, I think I covered that. Let's quickly go into the newspapers. We only have 1 or 2 newspapers today. So let's quickly go into the Herald newspaper and see what they're covering today. And then I'll be back here a bit later. I was here very late last night. So what I'm going to do is this whole week, we're not going to be doing the M31 program at night. We're going to do it during the day so that we can finalize the selection of the candidates. So the presidential candidates were finalized by Friday. All right, now let's quickly look at the Herald newspaper and then we're out. So the Herald newspaper is published, and let me see what they are saying here. So follow through with me in the Herald newspaper. And Mnangagwa is obviously at the front. And then joint crackdown targets illicit financial flows. A major multi-agency operation target initial illicit financial flows across Zimbabwe's borders, including tax evasion and entrenched corruption, is now full swing in Zimbabwe. And I will give you more details here on who is being targeted. But I can see that it's not really very serious here. And there's nothing to do with Wikino here. So I'll give you an update on this because I've not seen it in detail. So as soon as I get it, I'll let you guys know. And then Barim's Katemina set for upgrade. Let's see anything else. They're showing Chiwenga here with Sanywatwe, posing with Michael, and Michael's godfather, Sanywatwe. So Sanywatwe is the godfather of young Michael here. So you can go check it out in the Herald newspaper. And then let's see what else is here. We're seeing Zimbabwe's consortium, Mube, lead the parliament portfolio on transport, which was led by Comrade Tawanda Karikoga. So they traveled over here at the Bedbridge border post. Let me see if there's anything else I want to cover. In memoriam, Amai Gaza, Miss Agnes Gaza, passed away in 2019, and the children are remembering her. Twende Mufaro dead, and the Gaza family very sad to see this. And then let's go into the Herald sport. Highlanders and Scotland played, and Highlanders won. Highlanders had a draw. I don't know what this is, but then it ended up with a 2-1 on penalties. That is what it says here in this newspaper. I thought that it was a win, but it apparently became a penalties. That is how Highlanders ended up winning this match. Okay, I think I've covered everything here. I will try to find out what's happening with Mnangagwa, how he's going to be traveling. But it's clear that there is a problem. He's not moving around a lot. The children are in hiding, and Auxilia is also in hiding. And if you look at the platforms of the Mnangagwa family, they are focusing mostly on what is happening in Midlands, in all these places where young women for ED and also other people are supporting the ED 2030 extension, term extension. This is terrible for the Mnangagwa family because if Chiwenga was to take over, they know that almost all the ill-gotten wealth is going to be taken. So the Mnangagwa family will lose a lot, and they're trying to prevent Chiwenga from taking over. The rumor is that they're planning to fire Chiwenga before the conference. So that is the plan. They want to fire Chiwenga before the conference. and make sure that it does not cause trouble. And also, they have sort of moved back from talking about Geza. The attention is now on Chiwenga, not on Geza. So they are now targeting Chiwenga directly and trying to make it look like he is the problem and not Geza. So that is how it is right now. And then let's quickly see if there's another newspaper that is published. I'm going to look at the Chronicle newspaper. Then we're going to go to our people. As I said, I was here until midnight. And apparently it's not healthy for me to sleep 2 hours. Some people believe that it's not healthy. But to me, it's normal. That is how I grew up. I always used to wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning. All right, let's go to Chronicle newspaper, and it's leading with Babongile story. This story is big. This young man was well loved by almost everyone in Zimbabwe. He was well known across the country. So Ndebele Rockstar dies at 49. That is Babongile here. And you can see his family members in Richmond here speaking to journalists at the Chronicle. And as I said to you, I was at Limpopo Hostel with Babongile. He was just 1 year ahead of me at school. So I spent 4 years with him at school when he was a young boy at school. And it's very sad for me to see this, unfortunately. And Mzimwana High School has produced some of the best and most well-known people that you can ever find in Zimbabwe. So Mzimwana High School was like a military-style boarding school. You learned how to survive over there. That is why most of the guys are so successful across the world. There is no place in the world you can go where you won't find a Mzimwana High School guy. And it's unfortunate that Babongile has had to pass away suddenly after collapsing at home. And then let's see if there's anything else here. Robert Moses Mpofu dies, declared a liberation hero. So Victoria Falls and Wange communities have been plunged into mourning following the death of one of the first black mayors in Zimbabwe, Comrade Robert Moses Mpofu, who passed away on Friday at 79. So he has been declared a liberation war hero, and I think that is different from a national hero. And then VCC allocates 1 million to rehabilitate Lobengula Street and 3rd Avenue. Guys, Zimbabwe is like dump. Look at how Lobengula Street looks now. It's so bad. Lobengula Street, it's terrible. At least they're fixing it, but it's bad. Like everywhere you go in Zimbabwe, it's like in Mogadishu in the past when there was war. It's so bad. Our country has been reduced to rubble by Mnangagwa. So it's terrible. And then 189 Zimbabwe students enroll for Russian language course at UZ. And you can go and read the rest of other stories over here. Who is the young lady? The young lady is Grace Mradzikwa. She's saying something about insurance. She's the chairperson of IPEC, I believe. And you can go and check it out in the Chronicle newspaper. Okay, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. Let's now go to our people. So those are our people on Facebook, and President Ramaphosa is in New York. So yesterday I saw that President Ramaphosa has arrived in New York, and I'm going to show you what he's doing over there. President Ramaphosa and the Americans are having a very good relationship, and I like it. I like what President Ramaphosa is doing. He's showing a lot of focus because you can't do anything without the Americans. And here we are crossing live to New York. Okay, we're crossing live to New York, where President Advocate Ramaphosa is delivering a congratulatory message to the team Botswana during their historic medal of victory at the World Cup. So, at the World Athletics, sorry. So he is being covered widely here, and let's see what he has said himself about the trip. President Advocate Ramaphosa attends the official opening of the United Nations General Assembly Compact Global Africa Business Initiative. At this high-level forum, he features in a fireside chat alongside fellow African heads of state, Angola, Namibia, NASPAS, Dabengo was there, and incoming president Suleiman of the Afroforum. So you can see this year, go to President Dumaboko's page, it's packed. And you saw him arriving over here, looking amazing in white. That is amazing. President Dumaboko, can you believe it? It's amazing. I like President Dumaboko very much with his jet called the Pula. And then let's go to President Hakainde Hichilema. Where is President Hakainde Hichilema? Over here. So President Hakainde Hichilema, I hope that he's also traveled. He's not showing any travel here. So I don't know if he's traveling now or if he's going to arrive later this morning. So we'll update you as soon as President Hakainde Hichilema has arrived. And then in terms of our local people, let's look at Madam Boss. So Madam Boss, she's looking stunning. TikTok family, are you ready? Please don't tell Kalonga Kuti Ndalikisa song. I'm not patient in. So I don't know what song this is, but she's looking amazing. Okay, so it appears like she is featured in a song by Kalonga. Kalonga stays close to my house when I travel to Johannesburg. So it's like my neighbor, literally, when I am in Johannesburg. So let's see what else is here. Nigel Chanakira is sharing some verses. So guys, I want to point you to something that happened on Sunday. So there's a church called Faith Ministries. And I'm not saying this because Nigel is in that church. I'm just saying it because I saw verses. So there was a Sunday service at Faith Ministries on Sunday. They had guests from overseas. That was one of the best services that I've ever watched. So normally on Sunday, I just browse the services. So I do Makandiwa, I do Chiwenga, I do Faith Ministries, and others. Prophet Advocate Joshua. But this Sunday, there was Faith Ministries. Go and check it out. They had one of the best services over there, and lots of people were watching. So you can go and check it. What an amazing service that they had over there. And they had a massive prayer for Zimbabwe. And then let's look at other people here before I forget that I'm still looking at my people. Let's look at, okay, where is my page? I am still on Nigel. So let's go back and look at, let's start with Malawi Electoral Commission. We went there yesterday, you saw me, and the results will be totally completed on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, everything will be done. And yesterday, I streamed for you live the whole press conference was given in the evening, and there's no rigging taking place. The current president of Malawi, Chakwera, is losing 1:4. So in last night's results, he got 80,000 votes about there, and Mutharika got about 320,000 votes. So if there's no rigging taking place, he's going to lose very badly. But I don't know the dynamics in the center of Malawi. So the Malawi's population is very ethnical. So there is going to be a big difference at the center. So I don't really know. They're not showing any graphics of where they are. So don't be surprised if you go for a runoff depending on the population dynamics in Malawi. So if we end up going for a runoff, it's possible. Don't be surprised because we are probably in the areas where Mutharika is strong. And that is in the big cities. So let's see what happens in the center and also in the north, what is going to happen of Malawi. So be very careful of these elections. It's like ZANU and CC. It tends to be very different after the rural areas do come in. And then finally, let's go to Minnie. Minnie is one of my favorite people. I watch it on a daily basis. So she says, Michael Chiwenga receives sacrament of confirmation at St. Gilead's Church. So let's see what is here. And this is amazing. Look at that same picture. I think everyone is taking the picture from here. And Mdara Wangu. Let's see what Chiwenga is looking like here. And then obviously you saw Sanywatwe here. Okay, so this is looking amazing. And the Catholic Church, they're enjoying some very high level visitors. And they're going to do very well. The Catholic Church is doing very well. I do not know anything about the Catholic Church. I don't want to lie to you. The last time I was in the Catholic Church was in 1982. That was the last time I entered the Church of the Catholics. That is terrible. I'm a bad person. I do not know anything about the Catholic Church. And then in terms of SADC, let's see what's happening at SADC. Siom Seychelles has met with the stakeholders ahead of the election. So you must know that we got another election this week from Seychelles. So SADC has got 2 elections that are going to take place this week. And Seychelles is one of the best countries, one of the most well-managed countries. No political problems, a tourist hub, and it's going to do very, very well. And let's quickly go to our comments. When Dumaboko had just assumed office judging, what changed? Gambakwe. So I never judged Dumaboko. I spoke about the economy of what you call this, Botswana. So I think many people don't understand. I said the Botswana economy was going to be the most difficult economy ever because it was based on one mineral. It's all there. You must go and check. The Botswana economy was not going to do well because they had one resource. That is what I said. President Dumaboko was going to have one of the most difficult times. I was one of the first people to mention this. You can go and check online how it was so difficult for President Dumaboko and also what was happening with the Pula and the reserves. So that is what we talked about. It was not judging President Dumaboko. Your sports coverage is very poor, Mr. Gambakwe. Also drew with Scotland. It was a cup game. They had to go into penalties. Yes, it's true. And then when they go quiet, you say they are in hiding. That is not confirmed. Please report facts, not perception. So where is Auxilia right now? Why is he quiet? Where is Kuda? Where is Mnangagwa himself? These guys, when things like this happen, they disappear from the public space and then they send other people. You will never see in the meeting that was held yesterday. Normally Kuda would be there or Collins, but they're not there. They're not there. So voting patterns will be different at Congress. Zimbabweans are cunning. Thus, there's no vote on this thing. There's no vote which is taking place. It's a resolution. So a resolution like this one, you don't vote. It was already passed in Bulawayo. So they're just saying how to implement. But what is going to happen is that if Mnangagwa was to extend his term, it will expose the whole ZANU-PF even further. For example, someone like me is going to take them to court. Parliament is never going to be able to pass this thing. It's going to be very difficult. It's unconstitutional to do it, and they will lose votes. So people like Chiwenga are preventing a problem for ZANU-PF. There's no reason for Mnangagwa to go to 2030. And I've been saying to guys, Mnangagwa has already had he's going to have more than 10 years by 2028. You don't even know what is going to happen to Mnangagwa now. Is he going to be in a state to go to 2030? His age is high. It's up there. Why do you want to push these things so early and cause so much problems at this particular point? Let the men go. We can build bridges without Mnangagwa. We can build roads without Mnangagwa. There's nothing in Zimbabwe that is amazing that Mnangagwa has done. It's a mess. Zimbabwe is a dump under Mnangagwa. So what do you want him to stay for? It's terrible. Akabroka. Mnangagwa akabroka. Auxilia akabroka. Sean akabroka. Emerson Jr. akabroka. Kuda akabroka. Collins. Kakoma naka fupi kakabroka. Then let's go to sport and our bloggers. Kanye West is going to be in South Africa in December. So if you want to buy tickets, you can go buy. That is about 800 rands right now. And that is going to be at Ellis Park Stadium, the only tour in South Africa. So this is big. try to get into this one. If you're in South Africa, then DJ Ola has shown off his beautiful house. People are shocked. I think Wikino has bought him a house in a car. And then Lauryn Hill was in Midrand yesterday, South Africa, where she performed at a food event. So this was amazing and unbelievable. South Africa receiving so many American stars, because in South Africa they still have attention, but in their own countries, no one even watches. It's like someone going to watch show ya Mdara Mkwamba. So that is what is happening. Lauryn Hill was here in South Africa yesterday, and Kanye West will be arriving in December. Then in terms of my favorite people, Miribid House have published. Go check it out. I love her. I love Gertrude. She's amazing. Go check it out over there. She's talked about the time when she had so many problems. And I was laughing. Go and check out and laugh at all the problems that she had when she arrived in the UK. Guys, don't go to the UK. Don't go to all these foreign countries. Unofan and Zara. Stay at home. Stay at home. We're going to do well. Gambakwe 2028, the only presidential campaign that is going to do well. Bangmevese, Wakabroka, I like them, but they're going to lose to me. So Chamisa is going to lose to me. Chiwenga is going to lose to me. They can never win an election against me. The promise in the manifesto of Gambakwe is amazing. We're going to turn our country into a modern country, which has got some of the best modern infrastructure. This is Gutu. This is what Gutu will look like. Gutu Mpandawana, Beshnaf Bridge, Ngai, Lupane. We want all the places to look that beautiful. And Zimbabwe will never be the same again. All right, I think we've covered everything. And I'll see you guys a little bit later. Let me take a break. I have not rested. I only slept 2 hours. And that is because of there. So please buy your packet. That is the only genuine packet. Don't buy anything that doesn't look like this. This thing is too powerful. And if you buy the wrong thing, you're going to cry. Buy the right thing. Make sure that the packet is yellow inside here. At the front, it's yellow. At the back, it's silver. That is the only genuine packet. And this must be transparent. So this front part, the label must be transparent. No one can fake it. We've made it in such a way that no one can fake that parcel, that packet. That is for a reason. Mve is extremely powerful. That is why you see that I can sleep 2 hours and I'm still 100% awake. It's one of the most powerful herbs ever. And for guys, it's got other benefits. 1 liter engine turns into 3 liters. 1 kickstart. And you don't have to crank it. And so, Uzatongwe, Nema Salad. Don't be like Silent Killer. You saw what Silent Killer did yesterday. Silent Killer went to the UK and got to the airport. He was found with some dangerous things. And Silent Killer, Akanyadzisa, they turned him back at the airport. So Ngwere is no longer my favorite person. So if you haven't heard, Zimbabwean, so this is Zimbabwean musician, one of the most popular Zimbabwean musicians, Silent Killer. He was supposed to perform over the weekends in the UK. On arrival at the airport, they asked him some basic questions. He was so drunk, he could not answer. He did not know where he was going and when he was coming back. And they turned him back at the airport to Zimbabwe. And he could not perform. So he wasted other people's money. People who were waiting for him in the UK were disadvantaged. And this is terrible and unprofessional behavior. What Silent Killer needs is to go to rehab. That is what he needs to do. We don't support behavior like what he's doing right now. It's terrible. And so many people support him. He must clean up his act and stop behaving like someone akadakwa. Akadakwa. So Silent Killer, stop it. Because when people like me support you, then you do that. That's embarrassing to us also. So Silent Killer, that is terrible what he did. And he should learn from the guys from Botswana doing so well. We want good representation. outside on Africa, or when some people come out of Africa. Okay, so M31 is no representation on the ground. Red flag. Yeah, we're going to come. It's too early. What we are doing with M31. So let me explain clearly what is going to happen. So there are two things that are going to happen. M31 is the bigger political coalition, but Gambakwe 2028 is going to be at the front. So Gambakwe 2028 is the presidential campaign. So when we go out to campaign, we're going to campaign under Gambakwe 2028. That's how we're going to register at ZEC. So Gambakwe 2028, that's how we're going to register at ZEC. So that is the brand you're going to see going into the election. M31 is the coalition, and that is how we're going to organize ourselves. But when you go to the vote, that is the face you're going to see on your ballot. And also for the candidates, you're going to see the Gambakwe 2028 face. Because remember, M31 is a brand that is used by many people. We don't know who else has registered M31. But Gambakwe 2028 is going to be the face of the campaign. We are working and we are calling upon many people, funders, to come and support us so that we can on the ground with force. And our letter has gone out. Many people has received it. And some of the people who have received our letter or our funding letter, they are not people that you expect. So what we're building is big. And for civil servants, we are going to do very well. We've got a lot of feedback from the army, from people in intelligence, people in prison service, police, teachers, nurses. That is our basis. And obviously, we've got homecoming, people outside the country who can vote. We also have a lot of special interest groups, people who are interested in our plans, infrastructure, people who are going to build cities, roads, rail. And there's no one with a plan like ours. Take, for example, Chamisa. And I want you guys to understand, Chamisa can never beat me in an election. It's not possible. Chamisa will lose so badly against me because Chamisa has got no plan. So if you look at Chamisa, all he's talking about is the same things that he's been talking about in the past. He's got no plan. If you look at Chiwenga, Chiwenga has got no manifesto. So both of them will lose to me very badly. And when you do get on the ground, you're going to see Gambakwe 2028, the only game in town, we're going to do so well. And they better join me. So Chamisa and Chiwenga, they must join me rather than waste their time. They're going to lose so badly. All right, I think we've covered it. So you're not used to hearing this. But as time goes on, you're going to see many of you are used to being told slogans. We're not talking slogans here. We've got a clear plan. And that is why civil servants love it. Imagine if we say to a civil servant, we'll give you a house, 3-bedroom, we're going to give you $1,500, tax free. Those are not fake promises. And then we'll show you how we're going to do it. 160 towns, tourism-based economy, small government. Those things are clear. And we've got a massive support. And it's scary. ZANU-PF is shaking in the boots. Chamisa is confused. He doesn't know what to do regarding Gambakwe 2028. Gambakwe is slowly replacing Mr. Pin. That is Keke Gueva. Which I find in Zara Kweke. Tera Zuna Baza one. No find in Zara. Nurses, teachers, they are tired of stories. They want something solid in their hands. And then as long as they don't talk electoral reforms, they're just dreaming. I'm not worried about the electoral reforms. And I always tell people, there is no place where elections are free and fair. Like 100% free and fair. In Zambia, one of my best countries, they still challenge the election. In USA, they still challenge the election. In South Africa here, there's a court challenge about elections. What you want to do is what is happening in Malawi right now. You beat the guy so badly that he can't come back. Like he's beaten 4 times over. That is 75%. That is what we want to do to these guys. We beat them by 4 times. And a person like me, I am in public every day. You've got a person that you can see. This weekend, CC guys were in Masvingo. What were they discussing? Why were they going there? Chamisa was moving around in the villages. What was he going there for? They don't have a clear message. They don't communicate to you. They take you for granted. Same with ZANU. Chiwenga is always fighting with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa was fighting with Mam Juru. Mam Juru was fighting with whoever else. They keep fighting and you get nothing. So that is why we want a person who's going to disrupt the field, and that is Gambakwe. Guys, vote Gambakwe. That is what you are going to be hearing. Gambakwe 2028, we're going to do so well. And you're going to have a country, a proper country that you can be proud of. So that is where we are. And that face that you're seeing there, that is the face of the future. And our bed, that's the Zimbabwe bed, by the way, but the flying one. So don't say that is the Zimbabwe bed that is walking around with me every single day. I love it. Guys, I love talking about this stuff. But the guys in our groups, they know what you're talking about. All right, come back and save yourself. You get 0 votes. It's not possible. I'm not like Chamisa. So I want you guys to understand one thing. In Susu, we've got a clear plan. And it's got nothing to do with the liberation struggle or Changirai. It's a new game. We've got a new game. And it's terrifying to those guys. So CC guys, Chamisa, they know that now they've got a proper challenge. Chiwenga, he knows he's got a proper challenge. We are distinct. We are not part of any of these funny things that are taking place right now. People are tired of these things that are going on. They want a different person. That is why they want us. That is why nurses want Gambakwe, teachers want Gambakwe, soldiers want Gambakwe, Air Force, they want Gambakwe, intelligence, they want Gambakwe. Those are our people. Civil servants, unemployed people, people who live in towns, who are living in destitution, people who live in the diaspora. You've got a clear value proposition from Gambakwe, and we're going to deliver. All right. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I will keep on talking about this and end up not sleeping. And I'll see you guys, let's say around afternoon. I'll give you an update on whether the other 4 provinces have backed ED 2030. But at the moment, 4 are still backing Chiwenga or have not said anything. And 6 are now with Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa gone into hiding with his family. Let's see what happens. I'll update you around 1, around 2. There are some very important developments taking place today. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And a good day to you all.